Alrighty ho, neighborinos! I have returned with the very last live reaction of Mob Psycho 100. So, how's this anime gonna end? I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty freaking hyped to find out because this anime's been phenomenal. Got to stop my action. And there we are. That's that. I'm gonna do some how to keep. Oh, I have my thing actual already on silent because I have an iWatch, so sometimes it likes to go off when it wants to, and it's really annoying. So, yes, we are here with a live reaction of the last episode of Mob Psycho 100. Sorry, this actual thing has been quite late. I mean, goddamn, it's like 8:30 now, and this episode came out at 5:30. So, this is what I literally just got home from university. That's why this review this live reaction has been so late. So I do apologize for that, but we will not waste any time to find out what's happened to Reigen and what's going to happen to Mob. Because holy freaking Christ, that last episode, he wasn't doing too fab, that's for goddamn sure. So, let's find out. Man, I'm working up adrenaline today. I'm working up no sleeping adrenaline. Whoop. Okay. Hopefully, this should actually... Hopefully... It's working, yeah. Well, yeah, because he's been told to use his powers, but he's also told not to use his powers, not to use them against evil. Then Reigen stops and goes, "Don't do it, fam." And then he's all like, I was like, no, man. No, man, he can't be doing this to me right now. Sakurai, who I swear is also voiced by someone really familiar. I swear that's Orega's voice from Iron Blooded Orphans. He's one of those voices you just know straight away. Yeah, you don't want to know. That stress is going to be so much. Oh man, it's gonna be fun time to hit his openings. Openings so freaking good. Oh man, this is one of those good openings. This is one of those Bones openings. Because Bones, even when a show isn't fantastic, the opening's always really good. And no, not discounting this anime at all. This anime is freaking phenomenal. But Bunga Stray Dogs wasn't that good, but the opening was fantastic. And his opening is one of the best that Bones has done in a very long time. I think the best is still probably Fullmetal Alchemist opening 4. Either that or Wolf's Rain, if anyone remembers Wolf's Rain. One of those really, really old Bones animes no one remembers besides like the guys who watched it and know it's actually a really freaking good anime. Also, the first time in ages a Crunchyroll stream is not actually frozen on me. This is going good. Hello, 6 viewers that's watching my live stream right now. Hopefully, this actually gets second season announcement. And it's like right at the end, he goes, "Yeah, fam, we're doing season 2." It's like freaking yes, because One Punch Man's getting season 2, so this deserves one. It's better than One Punch Man. Whew. Unpopular opinions. Can't say that. I can't say that right now. Well, pretty much everyone's been saying it anyway. Ah. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we freaking go. This is really itchy today as well. He's one of those guys that holds on to his morals, and I really like it. Okay, this. Wait. Terry's got the right idea. What the hell is going on here? So it's a fake katana along. I feel so cheated right now. Naruto's just sitting there going, what the hell's going on here? You'd imagine Mob would have cottoned on to the whole entire idea when he says, "Oh, Mob, can you do something?" He's literally just straight murdering everything. What's going on here? He's actually the real deal. No, he would have had to actually got those some way. There had to be something must have happened. Like he's got all this power just randomly. Or is he just had his whole entire power the whole entire time? I never realized it. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. So it's 100,000%. This is amazing, man. So it went over to Reagan in the end. So I was still had the whole entire time. I thought, okay, so he must have got his powers some way, but no, it was just transferred. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it now. I get it. All right, Bones, you can stop now. Like we know. Oh! I see what you did there. One. I see it. I see it, and I like it. I see it. I see it. I bloody see it. After this, all the guys that worked on Mob Psycho 100 all got like 1,000% raises. See, Sakurai's trying to do something. He's like, now, fam. That is Dopper. That's the other one I just remembered he's voiced. So that's how you get context of a character, and it doesn't actually feel just shoehorned in. It's just bloody perfect. Oh man, this is like the greatest final ever. He's literally put in this place to actually fighting them. This is why Raigan's amazing, because he can just like talk his way out of a situation so bloody well. Actually, fantastic. He just reduced those guys to realizing they're no nobles. They're just actually just commoners. Like he's a beautiful boy. Yeah, he shattered dreams, but he literally just talked it out. I was just, actually really good. I like it. Wait, what? The vision leader's old. Jesus Christ. This is like turning events of the century. Like, hey, it's him. All right, guys, we know you're like freaking fantastic animation, but you can like cut it down, guys. Like you just like blowing competition out the window. Like Madhouse sitting going fracking out, guys. We don't know what we're doing now. Well, sorry, Shingen Natsuma and his Power Rangers. He's gone as well. You get the impression when they pick these characters up to be the most powerful things in the whole entire anime, yet they get destroyed so easily. don't know. I think about it. He looked at Ritsu. I was like, what could happen? That's why it's still around. I love the names of his actual thing. Evil spirits. I'm glad that Dimple Summer made it out alright. Jeez, they kind of just realized all this. It's Naruto! He's in the background! Bloody Terry just turned into Naruto. Oh, fracking hell. That's good. I like it. I like this. Let's see Ritsu and Mob are back to normal as well. Though, does he still hold that level of like fear that you, if he stresses him out, would he actually turn against him? Because you just don't know. See, that was one thing. That's one thing I always wanted to actually kind of address is the fact that she wasn't actually kind of featured that much in the anime. Like from my recollection, I don't think she was actually mentioned too much. His actual crush. And she's back as well because again, she was kind of in and out of the series. How good is Shinji? Is it Shinji? Yeah. Huh. They're actually resolving all of the plot points. Was that Doppel? I know he's voiced by Doppel, but is Sakurai also voiced by him? I'm glad he actually also joined as well. Play Transformation Club, I like that. Why did Shinji change so much? It actually is Shinji. It's funny that's Betelgeuse's voice actor as well. think his name was Show, wasn't it? Jesus Christ, bones your cliffhangers for season 2. Jesus, mate. Jesus, announce season 2 at the end of this. I ain't gonna have it. I ain't gonna have it if it ain't announced. You just made the animation change at the end. It feels like one actually did it. It does actually seem like it's changed. It's right there. Oh man, I didn't have season 2 at the end. I'm irked. I'm a bit angry. They needed that season 2, and I would have been completely content with its ending. Because we've got it Boku no Hero Academia. Should have gone with this one, because this deserves a season 2 more than One Punch Man. No, One Punch Man's got a season 2. But, oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. Oh my goodness. That was freaking fab. Oh, good. Okay, we have... I'll reply to these comments. 1 second. Sorry, I've been neglecting the actual comment section because doing this constantly with your eyes is a little bit difficult. Plus, I have the actual window open with my actual video about him speaking English is there. But man, oh bloody man, this final was bloody fantastic. This is what I really needed to end my Monday with. It was bloody fantastic. The whole entire series was bloody phenomenal. Like, I must say, I gave One Punch Man a 10 out of 10 when it first aired, because bloody hell, that anime was pretty freaking hyped. Granted, what can I say now about One Punch Man versus Mob Psycho 100? Mob Psycho 100 beats it by about 10,000 miles. Like, oh Christ on a bicycle. This anime kind of blew me away. Like, I mean, it had everything I wanted. Like, it just had really, 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 really good underlying, like, kind of metaphors and motifs, and how they explored Mob's character was fantastic. How they explored his relationship with everyone else, and how his desire to actually protect kind of almost got swayed by the idea of not wanting to use his powers was actually freaking fantastic, because he had the whole entire idea of him not wanting to use his powers, but then he wanted to protect as well, because his actual master told him, don't use your powers, don't stoop to their level. But then he was like, no, I need to protect them. This whole entire stress, this got built up. But then once he was told, don't worry about it, by Reigen, he was like, well, that's actually taken this has actually alleviated that stress off of me. But man, it was fantastic. This whole entire series was bloody fantastic. How they just explored everything. How they used characters to actually kind of express how Mob was feeling at that 1 second was actually really, really great as well. But how they used Dimple Summer back in episode 3 or 4, I believe it was 3. How they used Dimple Summer, that whole entire episode was freaking fantastic. How he just didn't want to join that whole entire thing. How he kind of felt outside of society, outside of his whole entire thing. Like, he didn't want to join it. It was great how they explored that. Like, I really just can't fault the writing in any way, shape, or form, because it was bloody phenomenal. Like, the writing really kind of just brought to life this whole entire story. Like, it just brought to life everything. The underlying things explored was fantastic. How they use everyone else's, how all the characters were explored, sorry to say. I'll just say that again. How they explored every other single character as well. Even the supporting cast were explored to a point where you actually kind of felt connected to them. In essence, Shinji's character, how he was kind of drunk with his power. Like, he was just taking out random people, like, kind of just saying, look, okay, that guy didn't do anything, but I'm actually going to take out the trash. How they explored his character, how he became drunk with power was one of the best parts of this whole entire series. How they explored Ritsu's character as well. How Ritsu kind of came embezzled in this whole entire thing was actually freaking fantastic as well. Like, I just really just can't fault this anime in any way, shape, or form. There's not one single episode where I can honestly say, well, that was not that great. I mean, Raigen's one of those characters that kind of grew on me after a while. In essence, I kind of liked him since the beginning, but I didn't really I wasn't really a big fan of him. Like, I wasn't like, oh, well, he's really freaking great, because he's a con artist. He was only conning Mob the whole entire time. But then as the series grew, you actually kind of saw his relationship grow with Mob, and how he actually saw everything else around it. It was bloody fantastic. In essence, his character was freaking fantastic. You could see the influence he had on Mob, and it was great to see this. How he influences Mob, how Mob lives by the rules that he actually kind of told him. Like, in essence, he's his master, and he will actually abide by the things he says. In essence, I will not attack a woman, because that is the lowest thing a man can do. Like, that's freaking fantastic. Like, in essence, he doesn't ever go against the morals he lives by. He actually just still believes by those morals, and that's actually freaking great. And how he actually managed to transfer all his power over to Reigen, for allowing Reigen to actually take out vertically the trash, was actually freaking great as well. Because I was sitting there going, out of never Christ, he survives that. Out of never Christ, did he take them all down? But in essence, what happened was he actually managed to actually transfer all his power to Reigen. I thought, great, that's actually really, really, really good. But it's one of those series that comes once in a while. Like, I probably would say, oh man, it's about 15 animes tied for #1 of the year. Like, I would say this is probably just edging past 3-0. Like, this is actually edging past it, because this anime just kind of did a lot in 12 episodes, and it's actually freaking phenomenal. Like, I just really just can't fault it. I've said that about 15 billion times, but I really can't. Like, I'm trying to find faults, and I really just can't, because it's so freaking great. Ah, man, I mean, this final episode, how Reigen just put everyone in their place and just told them, like, you're just commoners, you're nothing. Everyone believed that, look, I am this person, this actual, like, big cheese. I am this big cheese. But no, they weren't. They're just like everyone else. And how he was actually just able to actually kind of just say that, put them in their place, and actually kind of just reduce them to nothing was freaking great, because they were up to this whole entire idea. They were noble. They were the Claw. They were Scar Division. They were these people that you should be fearing. But again, when you actually kind of put into context, these characters didn't do too much. These characters were bigged up to be these people that would be kind of formidable, kind of really fucking scary, and in the end, they got taken down really bloody easily. In essence, they were just like kind of taken out in one hit. I was kind of like, wow, hold on. One did animate the last segment. It was key animated by him, according to the rumor mill. Right, yeah, that's what I was saying. It was one of those things. It kind of bigged these characters up to be this formidable force, be this force to be reckoned with. But when you think about it in logic context, they weren't this kind of. They weren't that. They weren't that at all. They were taken down so easily. And in the end, Raiga didn't even use kind of in a way force. He just spoke them down. That's one other thing to note is how freaking great Raigan is at just speaking. Like he is able to kind of just express what he's. Excuse me, he's able to actually kind of say the right things to kind of fix a situation where he's in. In essence, when people kind of think he's deceiving them, like, he's able to kind of speak that situation out, can actually kind of fix the whole entire thing. I think it's actually really, really great because, again, he is a con artist, but he's actually really freaking great at speaking. So it's one of his, like, qualities. Yeah, the larger context, he's a con artist, but he could speak fracking amazingly. Like, he can just, like, kind of just get out in a situation. I think it's actually really great. And I think anything this series just posed was bloody great. Like, every single episode posed something different, and it kind of worked. And I really did like how once you actually kind of looked beneath the surface of this anime, you got yourself a really freaking amazing series. Like, you got yourself something that actually kind of explored how Mob was at this quite, I guess, tender age. Like, in essence, he's transitioning, and how they explored his character, how he actually kind of just lived his life was actually freaking great. How he kind of just felt like this person that really doesn't talk to anyone, kind of just like keeps himself, like all these kind of things, and how they explored it was great. Like, I just really did like it. I think it's one of those things that just they should be praised, how they explored his character and how everyone else influenced him as time went on was freaking great, and had the whole entire thing with Ritsu and Mob kind of that. I can't speak English anymore. Getting to like 10 o'clock at night, I'm like kind of just shutting down. Sorry. No, when Ritsu say it again. When Mob and Ritsu kind of had that moment when Ritsu kind of just spoke about how he had this fear, how he had this whole entire thing. Like, in essence, you're kind of sitting here going, okay, so he had his fear this whole entire time, but when you put into context, when you put all the actual interactions he's had with Mob into context, it actually makes sense. He doesn't know what will happen to Mob. Mob can actually just change at any point. He just doesn't know. He doesn't want to put him in stress because he doesn't know what could happen. I think it's actually kind of one of those things that it's not shown until you actually realize it, and once you realize it, it actually makes sense. I thought it was actually kind of one of those better moments of this whole entire series. That whole entire episode was freaking great, and I think the animation itself, like, it's Bones. It's Bones. It's one of those things, like, you go into a Bones anime, you know it's going to be bloody amazingly animated. But this one kind of just took the cake. This one looked like Shingo Natsume, I should say the name correctly, sorry. Shingo Natsume just sitting in the background just going, yes, guys, this is how you do it. This is actually freaking great. Like, he was just sitting in the background because it felt like he was there. His presence was very much there. And I think it was just freaking great. But, okay, I guess this is the actual kind of elephant in the room. What do I think what do I think against One Punch Man versus Mob Psycho 100? I don't think, here's the case. I say yes, it's gone beyond that point. It's beat it by 10,000 miles. But I really just can't compare the two. They're two different things. They're two different entities. I don't really want to put them together because they exist as two different things. When you look at One Punch Man against Mob Psycho 100, One Punch Man kind of is that action series. One Punch Man explores the whole entire idea of a man that can defeat people in one punch. That's a major thing. That's the kind of gag of the anime. But it explores more things than that. Once you kind of realize that it explores a whole entire idea of how everyone beats the person until Saitama actually gets and actually kind of defeats the person in one punch, it kind of actually opens that whole entire thing up. It kind of sort of goes, okay, so yeah, look, yes, it's about one punching person. Say that again. It's about a man one punching a person to death. but then it's in larger context, it's about everyone else, how they fight those other people. How, when you think about it, these people aren't as strong as Saitama, nowhere near as strong as Saitama, but they do try. They hold themselves out to actually fight. Even Moomin Rider as well. Moomin Rider's a C-class hero, but he bloody tries. Like, he is one of those people who doesn't give up. So when you think about it, it's got its own merits. One Punch Man does have its own merits. People do say it's a very shallow anime. Like, it's one of those things, or shallow manga as well. It's not one of those things that doesn't really have that much depth. But once you actually kind of realize it, it does have a lot of depth. Same thing happens here. Same thing does happen in Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 could be treated as just an anime about a person that has psychic abilities and actually just fights and actually defeats people. Once you actually look underneath the surface, it goes bigger than that. It goes into a whole entire thing about a person growing up, how people influence him. How people influence him. Like, it's one of those things. I kind of feel like what one does, he kind of presents the whole entire series as something that doesn't have that much depth. When you actually kind of realize it has a fracking amazing amount of depth. And I think he deserves his props. He's an amazing writer for how he actually kind of just uses very subtle things to actually kind of express the characters actually trying to actually show. I think it's actually really freaking great because he does a very good job of it. He does a really amazing job at just conveying how a character feels using different methods. He doesn't use the methods that you would imagine a person would use. Like, he uses quite subtle things that does take quite a while to realize. Like, the whole entire episode 3 again, once she goes to dimple someone, that whole entire cultist place, that whole entire section does prove to you that, look, there's more things going on behind closed doors than what the anime is actually showing you. Once you actually kind of just dissect and actually kind of take it away and she kind of just look between the lines, you realize this. You realize there's actually more things going on behind closed doors, and I think that's one of one's actual merits. His idea of just looking, kind of just going beyond just showing it very overtly. He says it very covertly. And I must say, yeah, it's one of those things I really did like it. I really did like. I like both series. One Punch Man exists as its own thing. It exists as a masterpiece of just stuff. But this one exists as a masterpiece of characterization, character development, just showing how these characters get influenced. How Teru went from being this arsehole that believed he was a main character of this universe, being this person that he thinks he's a big cheese of the universe. But in the end, when Mob puts him in his place, he realizes, like, Christ on a bicycle, look, yes, I've realized this now. I'm not this person that I thought I was. I'm just like everyone else. And he actually changes to be a better person. So you really do see the actual anime does have great characterization, great character development in the space of 12 episodes. One of the things that sometimes animes can't produce in 12 episodes. But one can do it in 12 episodes, plus also Mob Psycho 100 can do it in 12 episodes. So I love it. I really do. I really did love this series overall. I really am kind of sad to actually say goodbye to it. I really freaking am, because it's one of those series I really did enjoy coming back each week and just dissecting its whole entire series, because there were points where his anime was just like, wow, this is actually going really freaking deep. Like, this one, it's like points where you're just like, fracking hell. Even that whole entire thing, the division leader as well, where he thinks that he is this special person, that he wants to change the world and he should be put on this pedestal. Like, you can just see it then. You can just see at that point how one presents his characters, how one just goes beyond the just presenting like as if they're just kind of normal characters. No, he goes beyond that. He kind of just explores how these characters feel with these powers they have, how they kind of imagine themselves being, and it's freaking great. Like, it's one of those things. People can have these powers, but it's the way you use those powers and the way that he actually kind of just portrays these characters, how they think they feel with these powers is freaking great. Like, since it doesn't just say, look, I've got these powers, I think I'm the greatest thing on God's earth. No, it explores it. It goes beyond that. I think it's actually really great. So if season 2 comes out, I will be here, because god damn it, reading the manga is kind of really tempting right now, because I don't want to wait until season 2, because I need to know what happens next, because I'm guessing the boss appeared at the end. So what could happen next? Raigan can now see the I can't speak it now. See, this is one of the things I could edit out my videos. Now Raigan can actually see Dipple, so I'm like, what's going to happen next? I wonder if now, since I'm guessing Mob can actually like transfer his powers over to Raigan, it actually might be a kind of one of those things that kind of occurs over time. When in essence, when things are going to get heated and Raigan's there with Mob actually will just transfer his powers over, because I thought it's actually kind of neat. Because one of those things you kind of sitting there going, how in the name of Christ did he get these powers? Like, I didn't realize that he would have these powers, but he does. And it wasn't just because he got these powers out of nowhere. No, it's because what he said to Mob actually allowed Mob to actually transfer all his power that he was actually feeling right then and that second over to Raigan. It was actually kind of neat. But man, it's really sad to see this anime go, because I would love to see, I'll have to come out next week or next Monday and just do another live reaction, but I can't because it's the final episode. So, oh man, it's a sad time, because again, it's one of those animes that just didn't deserve to win. It could just go on and on and on. I would never get bored, because it just kind of did something different each week, and I really did like what they were doing each week and how they kind of just explored everything. It was just so freaking great. I'm going to repeat myself way too many times during this, but I hope you guys actually have enjoyed this whole entire series of both reviews and live reactions, because I have enjoyed my own... I can't speak anymore. God, you can tell I need to lie down. I've enjoyed myself so freaking much. This anime has been so freaking phenomenal. Just dissecting each thing each week was so freaking great. Seeing how you guys reacted to what I was saying was bloody great as well. How you guys just kind of had this different outlook of what was happening was also freaking great as well. Because again, it just deepened my understanding of what really went on with these scenes. Because again, it's one of those things... I guess you could say it really leaves it open for viewers' interpretation. It's not just one interpretation. You can just have any interpretation to what these characters are feeling at that 1 second. Ritsu being dropped with power as well. His whole entire idea of, look, I've got this power and I can do whatever the hell I want. Like, in essence, he was really doing that for quite a while until Mob kind of goes, what the hell's going on here then? And then after that point, it kind of really does lead into the whole entire idea that he realizes that he has gone too deep into this and look what's happened. Like, he's realizing this, but I'm guessing now when you think about it, maybe he might use his power for good. And now also Shinji as well. The other thing to note is Shinji's character changing as well. Shinji actually changed to be a better person. So that was also freaking fantastic as well. In essence, Shinji actually went to apologize to Tenga. I thought, right. I did like that, because Shinji was, again, one of those characters that he was just drunk with this power of knowing that he was the student council president. He thought to himself, oh, I can do anything I want to because I'm this kind of just big cheese in the actual school. But when you think about it, he was just taking out the trash, but he was also destroying the lives of these kids. In essence, yes, one thing to note, side tangent for like 25 minutes, because it's actually kind of interesting. Like, the way they actually kind of explored the whole entire idea of what Shinji was doing to these kids, taking out the trash. He thought to himself, look, I'm taking out the trash, I'm taking out these people who are freaking against what we actually believe here. Police car is going bloody past right now, so it's like, way that he was actually kind of exploring that whole entire idea, like, yes, he was taking out the trash, he was actually bettering the school, like, there was no, like, kind of delinquents left in school, but when he realized the whole entire idea, what he was doing was destroying the lives of these delinquents. In essence, delinquents weren't doing anything wrong, but he was taking out the trash, but he was, in theory, just kind of destroying their lives. Like, these people couldn't go back to where they were coming, they couldn't go back to school, because when you think about it, they were labeled to be these people they weren't. They were labeled to be perverts and stuff like that. They didn't do anything of this sort, but they were labeled to be these people, and it destroyed their lives. You could really just see it in certain characters when they were actually framed to be this person, they were kind of distraught. They were destroyed inside because they just couldn't go back. In essence, Tenga couldn't go back because, again, if he went back, he would be called a pervert. The person he thought he could believe in, the actual the actual person he believed in, the actual person that he looked up to, the actual person he thought he could actually console with, kind of just went disgusting as well. Like, you can just see at that point, like, he had nothing left. He couldn't go back there because, again, when you think about it, he had no way to go back. He couldn't. If he went back, he was a pervert. He couldn't just do anything anymore. And I thought it was actually kind of interesting how, when you think about it, the actual power someone has can lead to catastrophic events. In essence, you think, yes, I have this power. I have this power to destroy the kind of delinquents in my school. I can actually kind of just better the school for everyone else. But are you actually bettering the school? Yes, you are in theory, but you're destroying the lives of someone else. You're not doing that person a favor. You're actually destroying their lives. You're making their lives even worse than it already is. In essence, even when he actually gave characterization to Sakurai as well, you can actually believe what he was fighting for at that time. Like, you can believe what he was doing was actually kind of true, but maybe the way it went about it wasn't actually the correct way of doing it. But still, it's one of those things that it just teaches you what power can do to a person. And I thought it was actually kind of interesting as well, what power can do to a person. In essence, how Mob believes in the whole entire idea of not using your powers against humans. But then Ritsu went against this whole entire idea, uses actual psychic abilities against people. Like, he could just see the antithesis as these people were. Again, the other side tangent. His whole entire idea with Ritsu and Mob, how Ritsu wants to be like Mob, but when you think about larger context, they could never be exactly the same because Ritsu was on a different plane. He was drunk with that power. He was actually just destroying everyone with his abilities because he thinks, look, now I've got this ability, I've got this thing I've wanted this whole entire time. It built this inferiority complex within me, but now I have it. I'm actually going to exert my power upon people, but that wasn't the right thing to do because you're not leading by example. Mob is leading by example because Mob doesn't attack everyone else with his powers because he believes that's the wrong thing to do. In essence, even Raigan taught him that. Raigan taught him just don't use abilities for evil, don't use it against people, don't do that kind of thing because it will actually hurt you more than it will hurt them. And he actually believed by that rule, but Ritsu didn't. Ritsu just went full-blown straight into it and just kind of just went against the whole entire idea. I think it's interesting how they went about presenting that, how they actually kind of just showed his descent into this kind of state. It was actually really freaking great. I think it's actually one of those, again, a highlight. It's one that whole entire arc of Ritsu was a highlight of the whole entire series. I think there were points in the series where it just shows you how deep one was really going with what he was trying to portray. And I think it's actually freaking great. I think it's one of those things that really, when you think about it, he should be commended for because he knows what he's doing. He knows how to write a character and actually kind of almost give this character depth. Not just, oh, he has psychic abilities and that's it. No, there's more to him than that. I think it's actually kind of interesting because, again, he could have just gone on like, yes, I'm this person that has this unstoppable power, but it's not. It gives him depth as well. He's not just this person who's just shy, reclusive, and just keeps to himself. No, he's more than that. And I think it's actually really interesting. I think how everything was portrayed, how everything was presented was, again, as I said about 15 billion times, is bloody phenomenal. Like, it really was. This anime just got no faults. I could just really find, like, there's not one. I mean, people say the art style is bad. I don't know what to say because when you think about it, they actually presented what one does as art really freaking damn well. They actually kind of brought his artwork to life. Like, they actually just grabbed what was on the paper and actually just kind of transferred to the screen. That's actually freaking great. So they actually didn't change anything. They could have just upped it and made it look like freaking like a Picasso painting. But no, they kept it like it was because, again, what's the point in changing something that's already there? If it has an art style, keep it because the art style can be freaking interesting. I think as well, the art style to this anime actually helps it in a lot of context. The actual art style really did help kind of elevate certain sections of his anime beyond the point it was originally. I think it's actually one of those things that really kind of did work really damn well because I believe One Punch Man had Murata's, if that's how you pronounce his name, the mangaka of One Punch Man. They actually had his artwork, so they actually could transfer his artwork to screen, but they didn't transfer One's artwork to screen because, again, I don't think One's artwork would work in that context. I think in the larger context, I think Murata's work works better in One Punch Man. But I think in this context, if there was an updated version of his work, I don't think it would work as well as it did here. And I think his work works better than anyone else's. I think it was actually freaking great how they actually just transferred what was on the paper to screen. I think it's actually really great. So yeah, I don't know if anyone said the artworks were the faults of the anime because it really isn't. Like, it really did work. They actually just commended the animation because one of those things, it just really just worked and worked. So yes, hopefully my ramblings have made sense, hopefully. I mean, I'm working up a journaling today, so probably that might be why sometimes my tangents are actually kind of unfocused because I'm just trying to remember everything in the back of my brain because, again, one of those things, when I'm review, I actually have all my points in my brain, so I actually can't speak them. Whereas here, I'm kind of just raw thinking out loud, so that's why sometimes it's actually kind of unfocused. So I do apologize if it was actually a little bit unfocused, but I hope you guys actually have enjoyed the actual live reaction, the whole entire video, because again, it's actually really freaking interesting. His final was amazing. How Ryan just came to be the person he was actually bloody phenomenal. Like, in essence, really just loved him. He was actually really great in this episode. He really just went beyond what I imagined he was originally. In essence, I really did like him last week, but he went beyond that this week. I think he actually just stilled the show. I think he just works really well. And please, guys, going past again. Something's really going down in my neighborhood, isn't it? No, it's one of those things that always happens. I live on the main road, so police cars will go past all the bloody time. So yes, with all that said, I haven't been a drive. I'm actually gonna have a lie down because I gotta go up early tomorrow morning. So if you have enjoyed the live stream plus the whole entire series of reviews, do leave a like because indeed it does help me quite a bit. If you have enjoyed my content as a whole up to this whole entire point and you do want to leave a sub, do leave a sub, because indeed it does help me quite a bit. But with all that said, I have indeed been the driver, and I shall see you guys later. So probably tomorrow we'll have a break because I don't get home until 6:30, but Wednesday I should resume with 91 days plus my data box. So do be on the lookout for that. Also got to do my actual kind of what I'm watching for. Is it fall? Winter. I believe. No, wait, it's fall. It's fall season next, isn't it? It's winter. I get confused sometimes. I believe it works that way. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that because I won't be doing too many animes, but I will give you my kind of just rundown what I'm actually going to do. So yeah, so that's me, driver, and I shall see you guys later. Thank you for joining my live stream because, again, it's been a long one, I think. So yes, see you guys later.